Welcome to Movies by Doug and Tyler. We got kind of a special podcast today. A little different format, not just running down a singular movie. We'll get into one of the best modern directors of our time, Christopher Nolan, our favorite 5 films by the director. Then we'll get into a little actor who has a better resume, who is the more important actor in cinema. This is Doug. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to do this with you. As you just mentioned for everybody, Christopher Nolan is a phenomenal director. He is, by many regards, the best director of probably the past 20 years. Obviously, debatable, but I think a lot of people would probably lean him if you ran a poll. He's just, we were talking about it off air. He's got 10 films that anybody, could say is one of their favorite films. And you're like, of course, why would that not be on your list? So Absolutely. A guy that we both really enjoy, excited to do this, 5 favorite. And this is our opinion because obviously, you can get into the nitty gritty and really dive into these things and break them down. But again, just our opinion. Let us know in the comments. Let us know on YouTube, on Twitter, all those places. What are your 5 favorite Nolan films? Because it's just fun to see people's different opinions and lists and things like that. So, Tyler, continue steering the ship. I appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely, Doug. Let's get right into it. Like you said, Christopher Nolan, monster amount of great movies that you can pick from. Let's start 5 to 1. Do you want to go one by one? Start at 5.
Let's go one by one.
List?
One by one.
Who'd you pick? What'd you pick for your 5th favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
And this could probably be higher, and we talked about this a little bit on Twitter last night. I love Interstellar. It is one of my favorite space epics. It at that time in my life, I think it played a part also because Matthew McConaughey went from True Detective to Dallas Buyers Club to Interstellar, and he was just on such a path. And this movie just hit me at the right time, at the right point in my life. The story with Matthew McConaughey's character, his daughter, Murph, who obviously grows into being Jessica Chastain, and the way that he's fighting and fighting and fighting to get back to her. He's trying to keep time from slipping away. But as you can see in one of my favorite scenes of the movie is on the water planet where you hear that click every minute or so, and you're losing so much time in that period. They get back to the ship. The doors open to the ship. You can see the gray and the beard of the doctor who stayed behind. And they're, and Matthew McConaughey's characters, how much time did we lose? And they lost like 28 years or something like that in the time. And just to me, the concept of how they use time and all that just really dragged me in. I've always been a big fan of space, so Interstellar still holds a very important spot in my heart. I know you think it's a little overrated. I totally understand. It just hit me at the right time in my life, and it's stuck with me for a long time.
I mean, I think that Interstellar shows a lot of the great traits about Christopher Nolan is in those fine details. His movies are so detailed, but like we'll get into it a little more with other movies. But the clicking, like you mentioned, and that being like it's just such a detail and like a perfect way to make a movie. You like realize it as it's going while the actor is still trying to figure it out. It's just great filmmaking. So my 5th favorite Christopher Nolan movie is Inception. And the reason I picked this movie is I was like, it drew me into it. I was like, man, this is like the Batman cast, a whole thing, but replacing Christian Bale with Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor of all time. So I was like, man, this is going to be unbelievable. Then you have Ellen Page, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy, and it's just a who's who of great. Michael Caine, and it just lived up to the billing. And you have to watch it more than once. You watch it one time, you are, what the hell just happened? Like this is, and it leaves you at the end wanting more. You're like, does the fiddle stop?
I love that. I love that ending. It's fantastic ending. Because it kind of wobbles and you don't know, and it's a fantastic ending. Great choice. The way Christopher Nolan attempts to use layers into his movie. So sometimes it's time, sometimes it's the dream sequence here for that. Just the way he does layers into his movies is phenomenal. Interstellar is definitely on my list. Inception's a little higher on my list than you have it, but it's definitely on my list.
Nice. What do you have for 4?
4, I'm going to put The Dark Knight here. It could be a little bit higher, and we've mentioned this together more than once when we did Joker last week, 2 weeks ago. We kind of compared Jokers. This Joker, obviously Heath Ledger's Joker, is a top 3 villain of all time in cinema. I would say he's probably, in the running with Darth Vader and those kind of people for the best villain ever. It's just an all-time great performance led by Christopher Nolan's direction. Christian Bale is a fantastic Bruce Wayne. It's just Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon. Everything works. Anne Hathaway, or we don't get Anne Hathaway in that one. Sorry. But Maggie Gyllenhaal, she's great. And then we get Aaron Eckhart, who I'm a big fan of, as Two-Face, Harvey Dent. Again, another ensemble, and they're tied into this universe of Batman that you just absolutely adore. And I thought he did a really fantastic job with this movie, obviously anchored by the Joker's performance.
Like you mentioned with Inception, I have Dark Knight a little higher. I'll get into it a little more, but I didn't know Aaron Eckhart was in Any Given Sunday. I was rewatching Any Given Sunday the other day. I was like,
isn't he the trainer?
He's the guy who is trying to give him steroids. And,
he's the trainer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but he's real young. He's real young.
Eckhart.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's a fine actor, very good, and he's great Two-Face, probably the best. He did better than Tommy Lee Jones, in my opinion.
Question, because we both like this movie so much, I think we're able to look back and maybe poke fun. Do you think that him not noticing it's the Joker behind that mask is a little bit too cokey or hooky? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's you look back at it now. It's kind of
you got to disband your belief, or what's the term where you turn off your logic. But you guys know what I mean. It's clearly the Joker behind that mask, and he doesn't notice it until he takes it off. It's kind of funny. Looking back, it's still a phenomenal film. It's just a funny thing that you catch now, looking back.
Absolutely. My 4th favorite movie by Christopher Nolan's Memento. The rewatchability of it.
I love that movie.
Like most Christopher Nolan movies.
Tyler, you have to rewatch this movie, because if you don't, there's so much stuff you can miss.
Absolutely. I've had to even and I hate doing this for movies. I've looked into articles and how is it supposed to go, just because I'm like, what the heck is going on in this movie? But it still makes sense, and it's still put together well, and it still is, oh my God, this guy, who is this guy? And is he just a psychopath who just has a thirst for blood? Is he always, that's the only way he can live at this point, where he has to find a way to avenge his wife's murder? And so he just makes up a story. He'll take a Polaroid, and obviously he doesn't remember it the next day, but in that moment you can see at the end that he has this thirst for revenge. And it's just and it's the black and white scenes mixed with the color scene.
I love how he uses black and white.
I've never seen done like this before. And
I love how Christopher Nolan uses black and white.
Kind of close to it, but it's a little different.
That's a great choice. Let me ask you a side question here. Carrie-Anne Moss, what a career she has, almost forgotten about career. Yes, everybody knows she was in The Matrix, and obviously extreme fame for that, but she still doesn't really, she's great in a lot of other stuff. This movie in particular, she's really good in this too. But she's almost only known for Trinity, when she had a really solid career outside of her Trinity fame. I think she's excellent.
I mean, The Matrix puts her over the top for sure. Yeah, and then this movie, I didn't even realize she was in this movie till after I watched The Matrix. I didn't know who she was really.
Right. Yeah, you have to come back to it.
Memento. While I was watching Matrix, I didn't even realize they were the same actors.
Yeah, no, she's very talented, but obviously. I didn't get it on my top 5, but it's in that 7 spot, trying to get into the top 5. Very, very good movie.
What do you have for 3?
3 is where I had Inception, because I liked so much the way that he layers it, and I like the fact that the consequences are you could be trapped in your own mind forever. And I thought that was really excellent. And then it has one of my all-time favorite ending scenes. Does the thimble stop spinning? Does it stop? Does it stop and it's all a dream? And then, just the backstory with his kids and like what all took. Leo, he always nails it. Ken Watanabe is fantastic in it. Like you said, Tom Hardy he's the coolest guy that's just there. And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a guy I've always enjoyed. So I had Inception at 3.
It's a good choice. I had a 5. I had Memento at 4. At number 3, I have another Tom Hardy, Christopher Nolan collaboration. I got Dunkirk.
Dunkirk's
and
really
the thing
good.
I keep realizing coming to this Christopher Nolan, they're so different than other movies, the way he makes movies, from like Inception to Interstellar to Memento. And then this movie, there's no characters really. It's all about time and place and real things happening and how people reacted in that moment. Because there's no character development. You don't really know much outside of the little boating family. You get a little bit there.
What's the dude's name? Harvey. The singer.
I'm terrible with names.
The singer. He's super hot right now.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Sorry, not Harvey. But yeah, you get a little bit with them in the boating crew. But the sound in that movie when they're driving over the not the U-boats, but they're driving or they're flying over, and you never know who's going to attack, if they're going to drop bombs, and you can see just that it's a very strong movie. I agree. I think that's a great place for it.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going on. Like you don't know who's bad, who's good. You have the Russian dressing like the French guy, and just a great movie. At number 3 for me, I got 2 more movies. What do you have at number 2, Doug?
Number 2 is where I have The Prestige. The Prestige is a movie, another Nolan movie that you will watch, and then you'll be like, "Man, this was incredible." A couple days go by, you're still thinking about it. The Prestige. Wow, Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. I really enjoyed that. I need to watch that again. And then you see things that you missed. Oh, shoot. Christian Bale was him the whole time. He was that guy also the whole time. He figured out how to do that. What? And then you watch it a third time and you're like, what do I know about movies? What do I even know about movies? The whole time Christian Bale is doing all of this, and I can't. It's so incredible. It's a movie that I absolutely adore. I put it at 2. It just blows your mind. Scarlett Johansson's in it. You get Rebecca Hall. I love Rebecca Hall for what I just don't know where I got attached to her at some point in my life. Andy Serkis is in it. David Bowie as Tesla. Michael Caine. The usual suspects for you get the usual suspects for Nolan film, and it just fantastic psychological thriller.
Yeah. So I'm at number 2. My number 2, like you brought up earlier, is The Dark Knight. I think it's the first comic book movie. I didn't feel like I was watching a comic book movie. It felt like a real, outside of that little hokey paint thing, it felt like it could be like The Departed, but with less cussing, or like a crime thriller or a mob movie. And it just had, like you mentioned, one of the best bad guys of all time, best villains ever in the Joker and Heath Ledger. And then Christian Bale is, in my opinion, the best Batman. I think he's much better than Michael Keaton. I think that 1980s Batman is a little overrated in my opinion. But I could watch that movie not over and over, but literally once every 3 months and enjoy it. And I don't know, it's just a great movie.
Yeah, no, it's 100% a great movie. It's the feeling is it's grounded. It doesn't feel like you're never going to fly off into the stars with Batman. It's gritty. It's down to earth. It feels tangible. You can touch these characters, and you're dealing with comic book superheroes. So it's a very good feel.
Tangible is a great word, because it feels like all this could have happened. It's like, it doesn't seem
like this.
So out
this
of the
could be
realm of
going. Joker could be taking over New York right now. That's how it felt. Like he could be working his way through, obviously Gotham, New York, you know what I mean? He could work his way through and build up and take over the city, because that's how it felt like, that's how
it just was very realistic.
It's
in
really
an unrealistic world, kind of. Like,
right. Gotham. Tyler, my number one movie. It just came off an Oscar run. It came off of a great award season. Oppenheimer is my number one. I think, to me, this is what Christopher Nolan's career has been building to. It's been building to this Oscar moment, this Oscar-worthy film, and he finally hit that with Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy,
it's a great timepiece. Like
it's almost hard to describe how it just feels so perfect to me. And because I'm interested in that time period, because I've read the book on Oppenheimer, American Prometheus, which is what some of the film is based off of, seeing what Oppenheimer had to go through after building the bomb, the way he was treated by his own country. Levi Strauss, the character played by Robert Downey Jr., I think was Robert Downey Jr.'s best performance of his career. If you want to talk about Iron Man, sure, but Iron Man never had to deliver on this level. And I thought he just absolutely knocked it out of the park. A great foil to Robert Oppenheimer's, there's a word for it, but excellent movie. I understand the runtime is long. To me, I'm willing to sit down though and invest that time. And I went and saw it twice in the theater, once with my grandma, and then once again by myself. So I'm willing to invest that time. To me, the runtime is just part of the deal. It just was the culmination of a crazy 20 plus year run for Nolan, and he's only going to get better. He has so much more he can do, and it just felt like this was his crowning moment of a fantastic career.
Yeah, this was his first like true story movie.
Dunkirk plays off of certain aspects, but this is like his first biopic type.
Yeah,
go into with Oppenheimer.
It's a great movie. I don't even have it on my list. I left off Interstellar, and I thought those were going to be the top. I think those are probably the top two of most people's list.
I would say they're in the running. Yeah,
and I don't have either one. They're both over 2 hours and 40 minutes. They're good movies. Don't get me wrong. I suggest anyone go watch them. They're like, I've seen them both. They're very good, and he deserves all the accolades he got. I'm just not sitting through a 3-hour movie more than once. Mm-hmm. So it's not. They're both not on my list. My number one is The Prestige, and I think it's the most entertaining movie maybe I've ever seen. It's just like a one-on-one basketball game between these two like magicians. It doesn't even make sense why it's so interesting, because it's about like magic. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm not even interested in seeing this. But then I watched it. You see all the tricks. You see the lengths they'll go to one-up each other. Yeah. You see this guy at the end who's basically killing himself over and over. Not spoiler alert if you're watching this.
If you haven't seen The Prestige at this point, that's on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Killing himself over and over and over just to one-up somebody, to get people's eyes on him. And, like, he doesn't even know the result the first time, whether it's going to be I don't know. It's just a great movie. And then at the end or not even the end, this is before that part, where Christian Bale reveals how he was doing this trick, basically. And he just, like, laughs at it. It's just an insane movie. The twists and turns will leave you on the edge of your seat. And it's about magic, which is the most insane part.
The way he finally one-ups Hugh Jackman it's the all-time greatest trick. It's, what, Tyler, I know we have a review we're working on doing here soon. After we do, spoiler alert, everybody, Mad Max, Fury Road, I think we do The Prestige. Because we're both very high on it, clearly. It gives us a reason to watch it. I think we do The Prestige after Mad Max. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like a great plan to me. I can watch. It's a great movie. And I suggest anyone who hasn't seen it and you want to sit down and watch a review and just not know what we're talking about, I highly suggest it.
Okay,
And that's
Tyler, I
the 5
know.
movies for. Go ahead.
No, I know you had some follow-up questions and some things like that you wanted to get to. What was your number 6 though? If you had like a movie that was fighting to be on the list, what was your number 6?
Oppenheimer. It's
Okay.
like if I'm doing one sit down suggesting someone to go see a movie, it's probably in my top 5, like just one time. But
yeah, you
just
like you have to go.
rewatchability,
You have to go see this one time. That would be in your top 5.
it would be in my top 5
Okay,
for sure.
I understand
I'd
that.
probably kick out not Interstellar, Inception. But that'd be a hard ass to do.
That is a hard
amazing
ass
movie
to
as
pick
well.
out. My number 6, like I said, I think it was Memento. I think that movie is just, it's so fantastic. Guy Pearce absolutely nails it. We talked about Carrie-Anne Moss. Joe Pantoliano is fantastic. I think that was my number 6. It was teetering right on the edge of being in the top 5. So that would be my number 6. But yes. I just wanted to ask because, we're very like splitting hairs on how good these movies are. But what were some questions you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to get into a couple actress question. One actress question, which I just think is a weird question because one of them coming off back-to-back Academy Awards, and one of them just I can't get away from this movie, Challengers. I see it everywhere. It's impossible to get away with, and that's Zendaya and Emma Stone. Not who's the better actress, because I think that would go to Emma Stone most of the time. I believe, at least with awards, they're both good. Don't get me wrong. Who would, before you go, what studio would rather have what actress would a studio rather have be signed on to their film, Zendaya or Emma Stone? And what were you going to say? We'll get to that in a little bit.
I'll make my point after this. I think in the initial casting call, I think it matters what role it is though. I think role does play a choice or play a part in the choice. I would say right now it would still be Emma Stone. But if you told me in 5 years that Zendaya was a leading actress and was taking over some of these bigger, award type films, I would not be surprised because you're going to be hard pressed to find after her movie run with Dune and her, how Euphoria finishes up for her. I think you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't want her as a leading actress going forward. Right now, I would still side with Emma Stone. She's like you said, I think she is a fantastic actress, and for a fact she's going to deliver in that leading award type film. She did it with La La Land. She did it with The Little Things. Or is that what Poor Things?
Yeah.
Which she won her best actress for.
Yeah, I believe it.
Just this past year, when she won the award, obviously, I'm drawing a blank. But for now, I'm going to say Emma Stone. But in 5 years, this would be a fantastic one to revisit because I think after Dune 3 and Euphoria ends, I think Zendaya will have taken over. Poor Things, sorry. But I think she will have taken over as the leading woman.
I agree that it depends on the movie, like you mentioned. I think a big budget movie, I think Zendaya is the one they'd want. I think Academy Award winning movie, an indie type movie, I think Emma Stone is a clear answer. And I think Emma Stone crosses over more to Zendaya's territory than Zendaya will cross over to Emma Stone's. At this point, Zendaya can get there. She was good in that movie with Denzel Washington's son. I can't even, where they're like just a fighting couple.
Oh, Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah,
that's a movie. That is a tough, that's a hard movie to watch sometimes. So that makes you feel something for sure. I enjoyed that movie more than other people did.
It was a tough watch, but it's good and it served its purpose. It got its point across on what it was trying to do, and she was fabulous in it. It's funny how all these they were both Spider-Man leading women, along with Kirsten Dunst.
I think I like Zendaya's character better.
I agree. After they did Spider-Man, all three did a tennis movie, which is kind of weird.
I don't think that tennis. I just don't think that tennis movie is going to do great.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like they're advertised. I haven't seen a movie advertised like this, and
they're trying. They're pushing her. They're pushing her hard. They're pushing it. It just hasn't caught me in the right way. I don't even remember Emma Stone's tennis movie. What was hers called?
Nah, it wasn't a very good one. It wasn't. I don't.
That's so. I mean, you can have some misses in here. I mean,
absolutely.
But yeah,
right.
I just the tennis movie doesn't look great to me.
It looks too overly sexualized. No, it doesn't look that good. I don't think it's going to be that good. All right, moving on.
Wait, Tyler. You know what I would like though? I would have almost rather the movie just been about her tennis career, like her leading up to getting hurt. I would rather almost watch just a movie about that and her be like an over the top, like John McEnroe for a woman type character instead of like. And if she wants to fuck, that'd be cool too. But like, I don't need a threesome in the trailer to draw me in. Like that doesn't draw me in per se.
It's like a Euphoria in tennis with no drugs.
Right. I get enough of that in Euphoria.
Steroids. Do you think Euphoria? I think she should move on from Euphoria. If I'm being honest,
I think she's got to end it. I think she's got to ride it out, though.
She's so much old. She's older.
They all are.
I know. That's why I'd be like, Sydney Sweeney and her are too big to be like. Why would I want to? I don't know.
Euphoria was never for me. I felt weird. I felt like I was too old. Like I don't know why I felt that, but like it just felt odd to me. I understand these women are of age and all that kind of stuff. It just always felt odd because they're in high school and they're all just fucking all the time. And I just couldn't. The drugs I get. I get it. Tyler, I get the drugs.
I know drugs, sex, and alcohol itself.
Go ahead. Move on to your next question, though.
I got a couple actors. Three sets, 3 different questions. Okay. Similar in a way. We'll start with the most benign, or the least cinematic impact. They do have an impact in cinema for sure. That would be Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Schwarzenegger definitely has a deeper category of good movies. It basically comes down to me, Rocky and Rambo versus Terminator and The Predator. Less movies for Terminator and The Predator and Arnold, but I think when you get past those 4 movies, it leans heavily towards Arnold. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
That's really tough because, like you said, it's Rocky versus Terminator. Pretty much. I mean, because Arnold only did the one Predator, so. And I probably like Predator more than I like any Rambo movie, so that slightly I watched Predator a lot. I thought it was so cool.
It's a great movie.
I like the concept of the Predator. Just still to this day is like fascinating to me. When they make a new, we can talk about it later. Sorry, Rocky versus Terminator.
But I mean, Arnold also does have like the comedy and Kindergarten Cop.
Those are fine. Those are fine. They don't do it for much. I mean, Kindergarten Cop I thought was cool when I was really young.
One of my favorite.
But he's also got The Sixth Day. He's got some other really bangers.
True Lies, Last Action Hero.
Yeah, he's got some other bangers in there that Slide doesn't really have. Demolition Man, though, I really enjoyed Demolition Man.
Judge
Dredd is a kick-ass movie. It's close, and to me, like I said, it comes down to Terminator. I think Terminator 2 is better than any Rocky movie.
I agree.
So I will, but Rocky 1 is, oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to slightly give Arnold the edge. It's very slight. Terminator is really hard to pass up. Terminator 2 is, it's like one of the, top 3 sequel of all time. Like, it's really tough.
I was just about to. Is that the best sequel, or is Godfather 2 better?
Oh, that is tough. Avatar 2, The Way of Water. I know people don't.
Did you like that movie?
People think I'm joking. People think I'm joking. Avatar 2 was fantastic.
I loved it. I saw it on a plane flying to Florida, and I was like, "This movie's great." I don't know why people tell me not to watch this.
Dude, it was really damn good. Some of those ending fight sequences were awesome. So yeah, slight advantage for Arnold because he has True Lies. He's got some other really good backup movies, and Terminator 2 is, like I said, it's a top 3 sequel of all time. So yeah, slight edge Terminator.
All right, I agree with you. I got Terminator.
Those guys matter, Tyler. Stop saying they don't matter. I'm just kidding.
For our next one, a little bit, one Academy Award winner, one just flat out hilarious comedic actor. Jim Carrey versus Robin Williams in just
Robin Williams easily.
Really?
Easily.
He does have, I mean, it's
Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting, Death to Smoochie. I mean, Aladdin, dude. Like, Jim Carrey's got some. You know what?
Truman Show.
True.
Dumb and Dumber, Mask, Ace Ventura's Liar.
Here's what it sets the difference right here. If Jim Carrey
Good Will Hunting puts Robin Williams at a different.
If Jim Carrey hit on 23, did you ever see 23?
No.
If he hit on 23, psychological thriller, I would say Jim Carrey, but it didn't hit in Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting, some Good Morning Vietnam. I think kind of takes Robin over the top.
I mean,
the Truman movie, Truman Show is so damn good though.
No, it's unbelievable. I
still think Good Will Hunting. That dialogue he has with Matt Damon about his wife. Oh, woo.
Yeah, it's
when he presses him and he's like, "I will fucking kill you." Like it. Oh man, Robin Williams, he could go.
The range is definitely Robin Williams. Now we'll get into the heavyweight matchup.
Oh, this is interesting
to hear about. You got Tom Hanks or Denzel Washington. I want to just start by going from 92 to 2002. These guys were in every great movie, it feels like. This is the run they both had. Tom Hanks, A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, Saving Private Ryan, The Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can. Then Denzel, same time period. Malcolm X, Philadelphia, Pelican Brief, Crimson Tide, Courage Under Fire, He Got Game, The Bone Collector, Hurricane, Remember the Titans, and Training Day. And then John Q, if you want to include that as well. And then Inside Man's a little after that. But those runs, how did they make a movie without one of these guys that was any good? Like,
it sounds like they did.
Many good movies.
It sounds like they didn't make any movies without those guys for a little while. Oh man, this is really hard.
And then there's other great movies they involved in, like Denzel's American Gangster, Flight, Inside Man.
Man. Okay,
Tom Hanks has been kind of slow of late.
You go first. I want to hear yours first.
Yeah, I'm taking Tom.
You're picking Tom.
92 to 2002 is a little better, in my opinion. You got just Forrest Gump. Philadelphia, they cancel each other out, even though I think Tom Hanks is slightly better. Toy Story, Saving Private Ryan, the best war movie of modern time, in my opinion. Dunkirk's right on its tail. The Green Mile, too long, but the last hour is riveting. Castaway is brilliant. And then Road to Perdition is probably the most underrated movie most people haven't seen with Tom Hanks that everyone should see.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and Jude Law. The guy who makes dressing.
The guy. That's good.
It's a tough choice. I don't think you could lose with either one, but I'll go Tom Hanks.
Man, he went Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan, You Got Mail, Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Catch Me If You Can. Jeez. Then he had Terminal a couple years later. But then Denzel. Why are you not counting after that period though? Because if you're counting after, I feel it. Right. Are you doing it because Denzel would take it easily if you kind of didn't take away that next step?
I was just going through the runs because that was just Denzel's after is much better. I'd agree. American Gangster, Flight, Fences. It's better than Tom Hardy or Tom Hanks is like solely Elvis. Captain Phillips is okay. Polar Express, The Da Vinci Code, like.
Ooh, I like
Denzel definitely has one of late, but I think that 2002 or 92 to 2002 run is still a little bit like puts it over the top.
Okay, that's fair. For that period, I will agree with you. I think if we add in everything, Denzel's the winner.
It's fair. I'm not going to disagree.
Did you watch Fences?
Yeah, it's insane.
That movie is hard on you. The relationship with him and his son is tough. I think like you said, that 10-year period, Hank's slight advantage. After Denzel, I think has a lot more separation.
I mean, Tom Hanks had big before that, where he kind of he has glory before that. I don't know. It's close. They're both top 5, probably the 2 best of my lifetime. With Leo, right there.
Daniel Day-Lewis is probably. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a movie star? Or are you looking for performance?
A mixture of both. Daniel Day-Lewis is the most talented actor for sure. Like I think I've said this before on this podcast. But he hasn't sold anything that's made over 100. Like there has to be some sort of.
Okay, that's fair. I like that you put it that way. Most talented thespian, but not the guy who can do both, sell your movie and be fantastic in it. I like that. That's close. I think Hanks does take it in that stretch, but Denzel overall. What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie then? Is it Saving Private Ryan?
Tom Hanks movie is probably Forrest Gump, which is Man,
has anybody ever been?
Probably.
Oh, so it's a mixture of those two.
Yeah, which is both in it together.
Yeah.
Which is another tough watch. Like these movies are all like there's a lot of movies like, man, tough to come back to.
Yeah, these guys are taking it on the shins. Like, you know what I really like, and I don't know what happened. It must have been right place, right time. I really like the movie Cloud Atlas for Tom Hanks. Did you ever watch Cloud Atlas?
No. Is that
there's multiple time periods where a character play is in each time period, and I don't think you'd love it, but I just really enjoyed it. And if it's not that, I think Apollo 13 is excellent.
Great movie.
It's hard. A
League of Their Own is great.
Oh man, what's the woman's name? I like her a lot. She had a good career. But she's the catcher. She's the catcher. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, blonde, curly hair.
Gina Davis.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, then takeaway Training Day. What's your favorite Denzel movie?
Remember the Titans, which isn't a typical Denzel movie, but it's probably my favorite. And then probably He Got Game, probably He Got Game.
He Got Game's a good one. Takeaway.
Inside Man's really good, and that's outside that run.
Takeaway, if we take away Training Day, I think mine's American Gangster. That scene where he pulls the gun on Stringer Bell because he won't give where he won't pay his where he won't pay up, and he just blasts him in the middle of the street. Incredible. But Denzel's.
The thing about that movie is when he does that, and then he gets mad about the person or his wife wearing fur, or about somebody wearing fur. It's like a Goodfellas scene where.
But that happened before he got really big. He shot him before he got really big. After he shot him, that's when he really took off. But I get what you're saying. It's kind of you don't want to make noise and show yourself, but at the same time, you shot a guy in the middle of the street. I also like that he put the money in the. I like the money that he put the money in the tip jar and left it like on him. You know, I just like that scene. And then Russell Crowe's a phenomenal actor. You got any other questions for us?
No, that is all I got for us today, Doug. Thanks for letting me host this thing. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. No, I thought it was really fun going through the Nolan movies, and I really enjoyed the questions at the end. I thought that provided a little bit of extra, background on us, who we like, where we make some of our choices. So I thought that was really good too. But whoever watches this, let us know your favorite 5 Nolan films. Drop us some comments on Twitter, on YouTube. We appreciate it. We'll be getting this out here probably early tomorrow morning.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right. Go ahead, Tyler.
Doug.
Guys, this has been Movies by Doug and Tyler. A name change could be on the way. Tyler's pushing against it, but we are working on negotiations as we speak. Thanks for watching, and we will be back next week with Mad Max Fury Road and then The Prestige to follow. Thank you, guys. Bye.